What is going on, guys? Thanks for checking out this video, my sports Gematria. In this video, I'm going to share with you the scientific method experiment that I've been conducting for the last couple years now, and the results that I currently have. So what you're looking at right now is, if you guys don't know what the scientific method is, it's the 7-step process of asking a question, doing some research, constructing a hypothesis, testing out that hypothesis, collecting the data needed for it, and then coming to a conclusion on whether your questions has been answered, and whether that's good or bad, I don't know. But for this particular one, I'm going to go through my scientific method of my work that I've been doing for a number of years now. So the first one here, ask a question. My question that I've asked is, can I successfully end with a winning ratio percentage over a 1-year period and or out of a minimum of 1,000 games, with the idea that sports can be predictable through numbers, gematria, numerology, and basic mathematics? Question mark. So I'm asking the question, can I successfully win games? You know, it's not just a one and done, lucky weekend, a lucky week. Can I successfully win games over at least a 1-year period and or out of 1,000 games? So an entire season of something. And so the second thing you want to do is you want to do your background research on the topic, on the subject for the scientific method. I've already done lots of research on this idea. In short, it's a conspiracy on YouTube, right? It's the idea that our world is one big occult ritual, and those at the top are playing God over us in a sense through all different forms, like symbolism and this numerology and all these weird things that go on that's hard to explain in our society. But we're specifically going to be looking at the sports side. So I've already done research on it. I'm not going to go over that research with you guys right now. If you're new to all of this, there's plenty of YouTube videos that you can find. Plenty of YouTube videos that you can find on this whole idea of the ruling occult elite. So I'm going to construct a hypothesis. And so the hypothesis I constructed would be the third step. So my hypothesis is, if I can create a sports gematria framework for decoding games, then I will produce a long-term winning ratio percentage. So basically, if I can create a system for myself in decoding sports games effectively, I believe, or my hypothesis is that I'm going to have a winning ratio percentage. And so what I did is I tested that hypothesis. Okay, I have documents folder of over 4,000, or it's over 4,000 games, but in this particular scenario, it's close to 4,000 games that I've picked and tracked. And this is what I'm going to show you. So we're going to look at college basketball, MLB, NBA, and NFL. Those are the four main leagues that I did most of my experimenting with. And I did them with the method that you see it in my other videos, right? I have my daily numbers on one side, and I have my sports numbers or my game numbers on the other side. That's the framework that I have created for myself to do these games. So for college basketball, I've done, since 2016, 2017 season, right? So I have all these PDF files of games all the way down to the ending season right here. For this season, I went 160 wins, 81 losses. This is the last day that I'd made picks on this season, so I have some winners and losers here. This one particularly more winners than losers. But I have all these PDFs here with just that, right? And then I have the next season championship. I went 39-29 for the season, right? So then I have all of that stuff here. You just randomly click on one, I was currently 20-6 at the time. And then it was this is just this last season. I did the entire March Madness. Ended the season with 152 wins, 72 losses. Virginia over Texas Tech. I even had um, Virginia over Auburn, and then I had Texas Tech upset Michigan State in the Final Four. But I have all that track there. I have all my MLB, so World Series 113. Look at all those PDF files here. All the way down to the World Series game. And then I went 267 wins, 223 losses. I went 50-50 basically for postseason. That was my first MLB season doing this. So, not bad for my first season overall. And then the second season that I did this, 70 wins, 61 losses. Not that great, but my postseason was a better. 22 wins, 12 losses. And this is currently this season. Look at all these PDF files. All that, all the way down to Game 2. Nationals over Astros in Game 2. This season I'm 430 wins, 243 losses. 430 wins, 243 losses. Postseason, 42 wins, 34 losses. So, and then I have my NBA, 16-17. So when I first started. This season I went 277 wins, 205 losses. $80 wins, 41 losses. I have all these PDF files here. All the way down to the finals. This was last year's. So last year, 632 wins, 371 losses. I went 50-30 in the playoffs. The last game I picked was Game 5, the Warriors over the Raptors. And then that was pretty much the end of the series. Raptors went on to win it. And then I'm starting this year, just getting started. And then I have my NFL from Super Bowl 51. Right. I even tracked all the home win-loss records for the entire seasons. 127 wins, 95 losses. 52, season 52, or Super Bowl 52. 48 wins, 38 losses, or 46 wins, 38 losses. This was last year's, all the way up into the Super Bowl. 82 wins, 52 losses. And then we're doing, of course, this year. Week 8. 274 wins, 192 losses. For the season, I'm 19 wins, 7 losses. Yeah, so going back to here, testing my hypothesis, I have a lot of data that I've tested for this hypothesis for my framework, and I put it all out. This is analyze. The 5th step is to analyze your data, draw a conclusion. So as of today, October 24th, okay, in the NBA, I've had 991 wins, 618 losses out of 1,600 games picked. Okay, I'm at a 61% win ratio. I even broke it down by the season. This was my first season, went 57%. Second season went 66%. Third season, where I picked the most games, I went 63%. For MLB, 767 wins, 527 losses, over 1,200 games picked, 59% win ratio, 3 seasons total. We're on the last season right here. I didn't do so good at first, 54%, 53%, but this season, been crushing it at 63%. This is the season I've picked the most games too. NFL, 275 wins, 192 losses, 467 games picked, 58%. NFL is my worst overall in comparison to this data. And then college basketball is my best. So I have all these seasons here. Currently, this is the season right now. I put 27 because I picked the Vikings to win tonight, which they're going to. So I'll be at 74%. And college basketball, 390 wins, 209 losses, 599 games picked, 65%. It's my best overall for the 4 leagues. And then my first season, 64%. Second season, 57. I went down. And then this last season, I went up to 67%. So in total, I've picked just under 4,000 games. So 3,969. I've won 2,400 games and lost 1,500 for a 61% win ratio overall. So let's go back to what was my question. Can I successfully end with a winning ratio percentage over a 1-year period and or out of a minimum of 1,000 games by doing this type of work? Well, guess what? I did 4 times the amount of games I was supposed to, and I did 3 years going on 4 years instead of just 1. And if you look in each one of these categories, I'm not losing in any one of these categories. Not a single losing winning percentage in all these categories, all these seasons, in these last couple years. On top of that, you add it all together, and I have a 61% win ratio overall between 3 separate leagues out of a 2 to 3 year period with going on 4,000 games picked total. In conclusion, I think I have proven my hypothesis right. If I can create a sports Gematria framework for decoding games, which I have done, and you can see that framework in my other videos, my daily numbers, my game numbers side by side, then you will produce a long-term winning ratio percentage. And I've done exactly that. And there's still plenty of room for improvement.